Okay, so in this video, we're just going to look at how to simplify with square roots when you're using the product and quotient rule. So we're going to start. This is number 2 on that product and quotient rule. There's 2 different ways to do this. The first way is you could distribute the square root of x in both terms. So when I distribute, x to the 1/2 times x squared gives me x to the 5/2, because you'd add 1/2 plus 2 plus 5x. This one would be 3/2. So you rewrite, and now you do your derivative, which would be 5 over 2 x to the 3/2 plus 15 over 2 x to the 1/2. So there's an answer like that. The other way we can do that is if I have the square root of x times x squared plus 5x, I can use the product rule. So this one I did not use the product rule on this side. When I do that, the derivative of the first term is 1/2 x to the negative 1/2 times x squared plus 5x plus the square root of x times the derivative, which would be 2x plus 5. And then you're going to simplify all of that by distributing and combining like terms. So this would give me x to the 3/2 if I distribute here over 2 plus 5 over 2 x to the 1/2 plus 2x to the 3/2 plus 5x to the 1/2. Sorry, it's getting a little sloppy there. So then what we can do is we have to look at that, and you're thinking, well, they don't look the same. And they kind of do, they kind of don't. If you combine some like terms, so like this term here can go with this term. So 1/2 and 2 is 2.5 or 5/2. So you get 5/2 x to the 3/2. And then this term and this term can get combined. And when you do that, 5/2 and 5 actually comes out as 15/2 x to the 1/2. So that's what that one would look like. So now if we try the next one, number 5, again, you can do this one. You could distribute. So this one is the 4th root of x times 4x minus 3. So I could distribute. When I did that, I'd get 4x to the 5/2, 5/4, I'm sorry, minus 3x to the 1/4. And then you would take the derivative. So when I took that derivative, this would become 5x to the 1/4 minus 3x to the negative 3/4. 3 over 4x, I'm sorry, 3 over 4x to the negative 3/4. And then if I rewrite that, 5x to the 1/4 minus 3 over 4x to the 3/4. And eventually we'll combine that, but you can leave it like that for now. Again, oops. If I did that same problem, so I have that 4th root, I keep hitting the draw button there, 4th root of x times 4x minus 3. When you do that, you would combine these, or we did that way. If you're going to use the quotient, the product rule, you take the derivative of this, which is 1/4 x to the negative 3/4 multiplied by 4x minus 3 plus x to the 1/4, we keep it, times 4. And then you would simplify and distribute. So you'd get like 4, well, 4 times 4, so that's 1. This 1/4 times 4, that's 1. And then that would be x to the 1/4 minus 3x to the negative 3/4 plus 4x to the 1/4. And then if you look back up here, this answer is going to be exactly the same when you combine those like terms like that. All right. With the quotient rule, the one with the quotient rule, which was number 4, this one, there's really no like easy way to do algebra first on this one. So it is, sorry, the square root of x divided by x squared plus 1. So when I do that, I take the derivative of the top, which would be 1/2 x to the negative 1/2 times the bottom, which is x squared plus 1, minus, I keep the top, times the derivative of the bottom, which would be 2x, all over the denominator squared. And then this is the one that it gets a little crazy here. So you can distribute this. So that's going to give me x to the 3/2 over 2. Actually, I have a better way of doing this. Whoops. Let me erase real quick. I'm going to rewrite this. I'm going to write this as x squared plus 1 over 2x to the 1/2, like that, minus, this would give me 2x to the 3/2 all over that denominator. So when I put that over that denominator, it would be x squared plus 1 squared. So in this problem, we have to do something with this numerator here. And I think the way that I have it, that's going to make it a little bit easier. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the butterfly method. So we're going to cross multiply these here. I'm going to take this times 1, so that just stays x squared plus 1 minus, when I multiply those two, that's going to give me 4. 1/2 and 3/2 is 4 halves, which is just x squared, like that, all over 2x to the 1/2, and still all over that other denominator, like this. So now you can simplify that numerator. It's negative 3x squared plus 1. That's the numerator. And when you have these two denominators and nothing's going to cancel, they basically just get multiplied. If you multiply by the reciprocal, it's just going to be 2x to the 1/2 times x squared plus 1 squared. Sorry, my 2's are kind of crazy because my pen died. I'm using my finger. So that's what those would look like.